Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's currently 5 o'clock. It is Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. I realized I didn't double check that my camera was working, but it is. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, hope you're all having a good one. Let's head over here and get started with our warm up. Not too much to report on. Pretty solid, calm day. In fact, yeah, today was a calm day. I think that's a wonderful way to describe today. Nothing crazy. I feel like I finally settled into life again. Um, wouldn't call it a normal day. I don't know what a normal day would be, but uh, yeah. I've talked about this message, chat on house rule and all that. I won't say who sent it. And I'm still writing a response because in what it was effectively maybe like 8 sentences, this person had so many things that I feel like I could have commented on. Um, this is our art. We I guess we start the streams off with like an art philosophy rant. I've been watching Zapata again, so that's probably a big factor. I've never had a person, so like I don't know how to say this, but like you I think it is a good practice to constantly examine your own life personally, question why you do things, question how that made you feel. It's all like in the process of mindfulness and self reflection. It's a great thing to do. And in this process that I do of trying to question things, I suck at it sometimes because questioning and critiquing yourself is hard and scary. And there's many days where I just want to go to bed without being like, why did I say that? Why did I feel this way? That's a hard question to ask yourself. But when it comes to like self reflection and art and why I do things, I've never had a person who my ideals and experiences have aligned with more than Zapata. And this is not to say, oh, I'm him. No, not at all. I do have some personally different takes, nothing noteworthy, of course. Um, and sometimes he says things that I haven't experienced. This is not to say like I'm him, just like of the opinions I've had, many align closely or very directly with what he said. And I'm watching his interview with. Pull that up. Oh, jeez. Why is that toggling my timer? Control T. Did I bind that at some point? Huh. I can't remember. It's his most recent video. It's 2 hours long. It's an interview with a famous artist. I'm assuming famous, popular. I don't know the title, and I don't know this individual. They seem very influential to Zapata's life, so I'll take the assumption that they're a very important person generally because Zapata has good taste. But already what this guy is saying, I feel like I'm doing a crazy disservice by not remembering his name from the video. I agree with. I'm not going to say exactly some of the things because I shouldn't, because I don't think I'm an authoritative source to agree with him. And I feel like signaling that opinion, one that I may not be experienced enough to truly value, would be dangerous. You know, the reason I bring all of this up is because it spawns like an energy inside of me, not like a spiritual energy, nothing like that. Just like I don't know how to describe it, and I don't know how it makes me feel. Hence why we're talking about it. Just trying to figure that out. Um, I wouldn't call it an anger, but it's close. It's like maybe a parallel. It's when you want the good for somebody, and it's just not happening. Like, not that they don't want it. It's just like you hate to see the thing that's happening. I'm by no way an authoritative source on drawing, art philosophy, or really anything. I'm not that smart. But, and I've said this 100 times, being on YouTube has put, and especially being a smaller streamer, a very small streamer, in fact, it's put me in a unique position where, one, every now and then I get to encounter a new person, and I get to engage with them more personally, which I think is it's an awesome privilege, which is weird to say. But a privilege I have as a smaller streamer is I get to like engage with people in chat a lot more one on one and stuff. And it comes with also a really unique feature of a lot. I'm not going to make any broad assumptions, but rather frequently, I think that's a good way of putting it, people have this like interest in divulging a lot about how themselves and how much they feel because the room is smaller and the channel is smaller, which isn't a bad thing. Of course, there's levels of disclosure. Don't say like your home address or things that you shouldn't share and you would regret sharing. But so it lets me in on a little bit more of their personal philosophy. They don't feel like they have to put up a facade for a larger streamer, which is an assumption. Or like to a chat, with a bunch of people. There's not a big room where everyone's going to hear them. And so this has put me in a position where I get to hear more opinions and thoughts of people, even though it's a smaller amount of people, right? You have Zapata streams, which you get however many hundreds of people, and then Kavel streams, which is lucky to get 3. And then, of course, there's being in Drawbox. Oof, what's going on here? Really? And of course, there's being in Drawbox, where I get to surround myself with a bunch of beginner artists. And so I get to see the successes and failures of everybody and what makes a successful student and what makes a person, or like what mistakes happen. And a successful student makes it sound like it's bad that you do wrong things. No. A successful student is one who learns, right? So you improve from your mistakes. And the people I truly appreciate in Drawbox are the people who don't try to hide them or scurry away from them. They accept them humbly. They accept their critique with with stride. They take it with stride, whatever that means. What does with stride mean? And they move on, right? And they may even, if they're that much awesome, they may even like show others why they were wrong and help correct them, right? Anyway, sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent there. Me being a smaller streamer in Drawbox makes me privy, smaller streamer and Drawbox, not in Drawbox, makes me privy to a lot of artists' opinions, specifically beginner artists' opinions, and like philosophies. And the thing that gives me that weird energy, that like kind of almost anger, the parallel to anger, but I'm not actually mad at anyone. I just have this, energy about it. This, I don't know, I want to say fierceness. Is people who do exercises and only exercises and then are very surprised when they draw the things, oh goodness, they want, and it doesn't look as good as they expected. And this comes with, I think, 2 big points. One, do your 50%. Yo, what's up, Jims? We're doing an art philosophy rant to an audience of 0. Now an audience of 1, so I'm going to subject you to it. How's your day going so far? Ay, that was a horrible line. Jeez. What am I doing? Okay, I'm leaving. No! Kavel nerding out scares people. Kavel yapping and acting like he knows what he's talking about scares people, I should say. I can nerd out about video games and probably entertain people. So you can talk to your audience of 0. But they're not as fun. They're not as good at baking or drawing Dancing Dino. It's a better ellipse. I will continue that rant in a moment. However, I would like to know if your day's been good, if you're having a good Friday. Good. The dog is sleeping in my lap. Oh, I love the pictures you send of that dog. I don't. What's their name? Not Bella. I'm not speaking of Bella. I know Bella's name, of course. Reese's. And if you're like, no, it's Reese's, I'm banning you. I'm sorry. You're gone. I have a feeling it's gonna be Reese's, and we're gonna have to say bye bye to Jim's for a little while. It's the second. Oh no. Well, bye bye, Jim's. Hope you have a good day. Get banned. Nothing. I don't prefer. I'm not a huge fan of Reese's. I'm not a huge fan of peanut butter. I'll have a PB&J. I like me a good old PB&J, but peanut butter in general. Yeah, I apologize. I know that's an unpopular take, and I'll accept that. I'm weird for that. I get it. Not the best ellipses today. Can I ban you? You can try. Can't promise it'll work too well. I'll ban you. The Quantum Circe, they can stay, but you have to go. Don't let Kat hear about it. She gets opinionated about food. You know, it's I need a we need a rule for this. It's like the kind of food that if you're offered, you'll eat, but you wouldn't eat on your own. You know, we need a word for that. Because like pizza, oh my god, supreme pizzas are awesome, but I wouldn't get it unless someone else was getting it. It's interesting. My multiple personalities. So we're gonna return to art philosophy, and I'm gonna summarize it really quick. And I actually want you to stay here for this part, Jims. If you'd so indulge what I'm about to say, I think it's gonna be important. But first, I just realized warm up's over, so we're gonna go into BRB real quick. So go do whatever for like 2 minutes and come back. I'm not gonna make you sit here through ads. Because since you've mentioned you want to pick up art and you want to pick up drawing dinos, I have some stuff I would like to spew. You don't have to. You don't have to sit here and listen to it. But we are gonna do 2 minutes of BRB just to get it over with before we start talking. And we're gonna work on our tape measure when we get back. So yeah, be right back. Oh, whoa, you got no ads? This is epic. Sometimes they just don't proc. I don't know why. I was using chat too. I was like, I'll chat with Jims while she's in the ad jail. Let me take a sip of water. Nope. Unmedicated. What are you calling me uneducated? Because I am also uneducated. Those are both true, but I'd like to stick with unmedicated if you don't mind. Cool. Okay, ads are almost over. So I'm actually gonna take another sip of water, dude. Call me an addict, but I just cannot live without water. That was a dad joke. That was rough. Okay, we're gonna talk about the tape measure real quick. What we had to do for that. The Twitch jail emote has got really. What was it called? Oh yeah, I'm not getting anything. I have Ninja Grumpy. Here, you can have a Ninja Grumpy. That's called living. Cool. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna be doing the side and top orthos today. I think we've completed most of everything. Yes. Cool. You're not beating the uneducated allegations. Yeah, I'm not the brightest. So, yeah, we're gonna be doing the side ortho, the top ortho, the side ortho, one of them. Yeah, because we have everything mapped out. We have that. We have this. Didn't I write here how I was gonna do this part? I guess, yeah, I just need the top line. Oh yeah, right there, I did that. Okay, cool. So, you're smart. I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say I'd say I'm average brain. Maybe I could use a little bit more water, but I'd say I'm average brain. So, this is something that if I could tell every new artist, I would. I'm technically a new artist as well, so whatever. I'll tell this myself as well. Please don't go into art. Don't go into art with expectations. What are expectations? They are these ephemeral, qualitative assumptions about how your art should turn out. So we're going to use drawing a dinosaur as an example. When I was first getting into art, I would try, and I'm going to upload this to my website. You can see my original 50% drawings. I had no idea what I wanted to draw. Sorry, I knew what I wanted to draw, but I was too scared to approach it because of expectations. I told myself, if I draw this thing, it's going to come out ugly. And so I'm going to draw something else that I don't particularly care about. But isn't that just kind of antithetical to the purpose of drawing? I picked up drawing to draw the things that I want, to express myself. So I would go and draw like landscapes when I wanted to draw dinosaurs because I was too scared. And in hindsight, that was such a waste of time. Bear and I and Struthless have something called the white ibis, which is something that we love and we truly want to draw, and we are familiar with it, and we can use it to leverage and improve in art. It is, let's say, you know, in your room when you can close your eyes and you can navigate most of it, right? Because you're just so familiar with it. That's what a white ibis is you're so familiar with like the shapes and the structures that you can kind of do whatever you want with it. And sure, it may not turn out perfect every time, but it's familiar to you and thus comfortable. You can then leverage your white ibis to do difficult things. So I know how to draw gravel, but what if gravel is now in like a really strange perspective? And this is where we go back to now our expectations. My expectation of this drawing isn't for it to work. It's to draw gravel, my white ibis, in a strange perspective. Notice how my expectation was not draw gravel in perspective well. It's to try it, right? So I expect to draw a Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? I don't know why I said the full legal name. I never said draw it well. I never said draw it in perspective or with any of these rules. I just said draw a Tyrannosaurus, right? That is what removing expectations means to me. And it comes out a little ugly. That's fine. Because I got to draw my white ibis. Because I have joy in drawing my white ibis and I'm familiar with it, right? I keep like prepping a line. Let's just get started. So if I was to say everything very concisely, there's going to be things that you want to draw. Draw them. Don't get distracted by telling yourself you're not good enough now. Because guess what? If you draw it then, you could draw it 10 months from now, a year, 2 years from now, and it'll be that much better and you get another chance because it isn't final. And in fact, you'll have a cool litmus then to see how you've improved. I would recommend doing it in small increments, like every 3 months. I wouldn't personally say you'd grow that fast. Just Do it again. I've done that multiple times. So if you really want to draw dinos, if you want to really draw anime girls or furries or robots or scenes or manga, comics, whatever, start now. You could always redo it. Because you're enjoying it. That's the joy that you get out of art. Curate that, treat it with respect and seriousness, discipline, pour all your virtue and heart to that because that's important. And if you want it to look better, then you can start doing exercises. But really, exercises are there to serve as like a toolkit. I can make money if I draw furries. You could, but would you be happy? I already draw furries, kind of, so I wouldn't be too opposed. Would you be happy? No. Plus, yeah, I heard furries pay well. Is that a rumor? I think, yeah, but. So, how tall is this? Or how deep is this? We've talked about thoroughly how this is a 4:3 ratio, but what is this in comparison to these ratios? I like animals and dinosaurs and anime. Those are all things that you like, but would you like to draw those? That's a more important question, in my opinion. What do you like drawing? Heck yeah. So I'd recommend, and this is why I put in art discussion, and I want to talk to people smarter than me, hence why I ask there. There's also a paradox with saying draw it well and so end up making it worse in a way. For me, setting up some small goal and a drawing helps to build up skill. One step. Yeah, so I don't want to confuse goals with expectations. Also, hi, Mikal. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your very wise input, as per usual. As there's goals and there's expectations. You can have a goal without any expectation. That's called hypothesis testing, and it's the true scientists shouldn't have an expectation. They can have a hypothesis, but like at the end of the day, your job with the experiment is to see if it can be replicated, right? To see if your hypothesis is met. But that doesn't really mean you expect it to, right? It could do anything. That's why we're experimenting. So yeah, set goals for yourself, and that's why I say use White Ibis as a means of leveraging the skills you learned in exercise, right? You're putting those to practice in a very realistic way. Because the whole reason we do exercises is to get, improve at art so we can start using those tools we develop in our own art to do the things that we love, right? And the whole reason I brought this up is because some people get that step mixed up. They think grinding exercises all day, unless they really like the exercises, which power to you. They get confused there. I'd say this is a third thick, which is a weird number, I think. No, it isn't. That means we have a 4:3:1 ratio, I think. 2, 3, 2, 1. Because if it is a third tall here, that means it's just a third. And we know that that means it's 1/4. So if we did this and then put it right here, it should be exactly. Look at that. That's a fourth. We're crazy with it. However, the see how it gets like chopped off right here? I don't know how much. I'd say that's a fifth, which is a weird number. But that's okay because we only have to do our slice once. And it's a 2D slice, which means we only need to establish 2 planes with that because we don't really need depth with it. We could do it on each plane, which would be the most accurate-ish. Yeah. Also, Mikal, I would like to shout you out. Thank you for joining stream. You have very eloquent and well-put ideas, and you've contributed a lot to our Lesson 6 education. So thank you very much for joining us. Maybe this is even giving a 6th vibe. But yeah, Jims, I feel like you, being a person who is smart, has not that dumb, conventionally dumb, quote unquote, whatever that means, people don't have a shot in art. No, just the fact that Jims has an advantage by how smart she is. You'll do well in art so long as you do it because you love it. I mean, you could do well in art if you don't like it too, but what's the point? Why torture yourself every day with art? You know? That doesn't mean what you say is any less valuable, no. In fact, it means that you're good at doing what you do. Putting your thoughts into a concise, well thought out text. We all can be very dumb. I've complimented both of you, and you guys are both on the defense, respectfully. Take it with stride, guys. Be proud. MCal writes, great, wise statements, and Jims is capable of great things. This is still giving a 5th vibes. So I'm gonna continue with the 5th. I guess I've been complimenting two people too much in stream. So this is 3 units tall, so we know this is a 3-to-1 ratio. And we have all of our measurements over here to tell us what things are. Yeah, I feel that sentiment. I tend to be very dumb with social environments IRL. It's my keyboard hand talking for real. Same here. Both of you said just things that I can totally relate to. Alrighty, so that means I'm gonna have to divvy up to get the 15/14th. We'll do a slice here. We're using the mcal slice method. That is the official name of it, by the way. A slice there. A slice here for that component. We won't really need... Actually, because this whole ellipse right here is done on the back plane. Which is actually a good thing. That makes our life easier. So a lot of this geometry will be on the back plane. And only the outer part will be on this one. Yeah, and I drew the green right here of what needs to be on the slice right there. But we're talking about, I'm gonna call these like the depth slices. So we have a slice here, which is the front, I guess. Slice here, I guess, for this thing, maybe. Yeah. How have I been? I've been okay. Also, is the music loud? It may be loud from last night. Oh yeah, it's a little bit. Oh, wrong button. Also, new Gorillaz album came out today. I love it. Guys, if you can, please go watch the Gorillaz animation. They made a short film. It's like 9 minutes, 10 minutes. It is amazing. I love it a ton. It is probably one of my favorite Gorillaz music videos to date. Please go watch it. It's epic. It looks so nice, and it tells a very fun and nice story. How have I been? Calm. We're seeing the calm after the storm, I think, I hope. I got good work done today. I hung out with friends a lot. I may hang out with friends a little bit more, I haven't decided. Overall, I am in a thankful, calm mood. You know, if you've ever like been in a storm, like a really bad storm, and it's over, and you can smell the rain in the air, and the clouds kind of like part, and it's like weirdly sunny but also rainy and muggy. That's the feeling. I don't know. You have a game night tomorrow? Heck yeah! What kind of game night? The board games, video games, games. What things should we mark that happen horizontally? We really don't need much. 15/24ths. I think. Because like this is pretty symmetric about the middle. The only thing we really need is this slice. which is going to be 1/5. That looks exactly, that's like almost exactly a fourth. Bored, my friend is bringing his 3 printed game. Oh, that's cool. Is it a custom made game, like one he made himself, or is it just a 3D printed version of an existing game? I think it's mostly board. Huge. Okay, I'm gonna do something weird here, but it's gonna be hear me out, okay? So just stick with me, guys. But this is kind of hard for me to visualize right now. So we're gonna do this. Space game someone made with ships. Ooh. I'm not hearing you out. Dude. Come on, man. What the frick, man? Also, Jims, I'm almost finished with Trigun. I am on the last episode. It's been fun so far. I like the animation. The main character. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now. John Trigun. He's pissing me off. I can't. Okay, there's gonna be slight spoilers. Not really ending spoilers, but yeah. So just be warned, everybody. If you don't want to get there, Vash, yeah, Vash Stampede. Sorry, I don't know why I blanked on that. Me and names, don't get me started. He pisses me off because I'm not a fan of characters who are completely like, I'm not gonna say good because he's done things that have been bad, right? Not to any fault of his own, totally. Anyways, but like they're too much of an idealist, right? I prefer a realist if I was going to. I don't think it's because he's poorly written per se. I'm just personally not fans of stories that have characters who are so perfectly idealistic. Like I like to see them falter, or to have like different aspects of themselves, not to be like this permanently good thing. And you're like, well, Kavel, why do you like One Piece? I never said I liked One. Okay, I like One Piece, but I've never said I appreciated Luffy's idealism. Right? It's a nice thing to have, but I think having such binary perspectives in either end of the spectrum blinds you to the middle, right? And it kind of makes the story a little bit predictable. I already have a theory of what's going to happen in the end, but yeah. Might go more it might go more into I might go into it more in season 2. I got you. Okay. Or it might go into it more, the story itself. Take a sip of water. It says we have 4 viewers right now, and I'm not sure if that's true, but I'd like to believe TS Block is in there silently watching, chilling out. It may not be them, but I'd like to believe, you know. I feel like TS Block is always out there, listening, lurking, but not in like a creepy way. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad story. It's a very fun show to watch for sure. I'm adjusting my mic. It's Germa. What's Germa? Germa's streaming right now. He's streaming Resident Evil. I was watching it a little bit before the stream. And then I started watching my friend play Resident Evil because as much as okay. Serious talk, everybody. Yeah, this isn't like world-shattering news, but I feel like it should be brought up. You made your dad watch it with you? Oh, that's awesome. As you know, I am a fan of Germa, right? I wouldn't call myself a super fan or anything. I'm not like a parasocial fan. But, you know, I do respect Germa as a creator, and I think he's probably a legit good person, right? From what we've seen from his decades on these platforms, right? Sadly, he has a dog named Otto. Otto has been in bad health as of recent, and I think it was last night or a couple nights ago. Otto sadly passed away, which is I've never heard of him before. That's the thing. He's the streamer's streamer. That's the best way to describe it. But yeah, Otto sadly passed away, and Otto's been a core character, if you will, of Germa streams. A great dog. And so if you do get the opportunity, don't like run into his chat and say like, Germa, I'm so sorry about Otto, because like I wouldn't want to be constantly reminded of that. But just if you get the opportunity, show him some support. And go hug your own dog, your own pet, for the sake of Otto, right? Animals are awesome, and it is legit, I think, an injustice that we get so little time with them. Unless you own a bird, those, or like a turtle, those things outlast us. But still, hug them while you can. Show them all the love that you can. All that good stuff. Yeah, aw. I wish I was by my sister's cactus. Muma, there's a 20, what? 20-year-old cat? That is insane. A 20-year-old cat. I just googled the world record for a cat life, and that's 38. So, okay, I'll calm down. But a 20-year-old cat, that is impressive. Wow. By my sister's words. So yeah, this is how I'm seeing things. Bella's 13. Bella, 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 Bella. Okay. What else would we need? Oh, we want one right here, so we could do that. That's at the 3/8 mark, so I'll just kind of guesstimate 3/8. You know what? I didn't say this yet, but today was a good day. I feel like I should say that. I should just make it clear and known now that today was a good day. Okay, this has a lip on it, and I don't think I ever explored the lip. Oh, I just realized a crazy difficult thing about this. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh, that makes my life so much more difficult. Plastic has a thickness to it. I know I sound like a freaking caveman saying that now, but like all of this I need to add volume to. I hope your pillow is cool tonight. Thank you. However, I've just had my comeuppance with this realization. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. I love dog, dude. I miss my dog. I miss Moose. I made myself sad by bringing that up. I need to go say hi to Moose. Back in 2017, but it had an effect on us, especially her. I mean, yeah. Our animals mean a lot to us, man. Hmm. How do we approach this? all of this stuff is going to happen. It's projected through, right? We don't need this front too much. In fact, we don't really need the top of this slice. We just need these two arms, right? Because this spans from side to side of the box. And we also have to consider if we curve it or something. I can't. Yeah. This is the only one where we need this, right? We'll be leveraging this slice and this slice. So a lot of the stuff here will be transported onto this. But how do we do the thickness of this? It's incredibly small. And we've really set out a challenge for ourselves. Because if we do, let's say we had the perfect way to get measurements for the whole thickness of this thing, right? Which I'd much rather it just be like a plane instead of actually like whatever. That means we have to now mechanically like recreate the thickness of this line and have it be consistent throughout everything. And that is not easy. That's not easy. We have that straight spot that I talked about. I guess we will need a slice back here. It's gonna be the smallest slice ever. And we don't even need the bottoms of the slice. And it would be for this. We'd find the intersection between these two. So we will need the bottoms of the slice. Carry our way there. That means on this line here. And we'll have all that stuff to do that. Ah. Sorry, I just saw Monkey's message in a in art discussion. So let's see, we need this line. We need this line. We need this line. And this line. We will dub these slice 1. Actually, no, this will be slice one. This isn't a slice. I've decided because like we don't need the bottom lines at all, so it's practically just not a slice. That'd be saying like this ellipse is a slice, and that's not going to be one. But for these, since we're working with this slice back here, so I'm actually going to call this slice 2, this one slice 1, because this is the most important slice, IMHO, and then slice 3. Oh no. When it rains, it pours, man. Things just always happen to play at the worst dates. Alrighty, I think that's all we need for those. I still haven't figured out the thickness issue. Because if we do an arbitrary thickness, that's cool. That means we have to like match it everywhere. Meanwhile, if we explicitly set the thickness, that becomes much, 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 much more difficult. As for the top ortho, we can highlight those in green. We will, of course, need this. No, we don't. This. Yes, and this. So we only need it for those slices. That's enough slices. This is my third item. Yes, it is. Trucking along. Trying to think if we need a slice for this. What do I plan next? I don't know. It's either going to be I want it to be something circular. So a hand sanitizer bottle, a soap bottle, or like cylindrical, sorry. Like a lot more cylindrical, right? Because this is I would consider very circular. There's a lot of ellipses happening. But not very cylindrical, right? Or tall cylinder. I guess that's the more, make me struggle with degrees. But a thermos. Yeah, I have this one. This is the one I drink out of all the time. It has like a slight bend to it, but I was hoping for something a little bit more wonky, right? A bit more of a change in radii throughout the object. Because otherwise it's just kind of a glorified cylinder, which I'm not saying is easy by any means. I just personally would like to experiment with a lot of changing diameters, changing radii. Hmm. How do we do the thickness? And here, let me get a video for Monkey real quick. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know why that scared me. It like actually just kind of scared me. Okay. Okay, please don't autoplay. Please don't autoplay. Please. Nope. Okay. Sorry about that. That was a jump scare. Yeah, sorry. I broke everything because I wanted to get Monkey this video. Yeah, that's why I was saying my hand sanitizer bottle or soap bottle. Those are next on my list. If not, I have a pill bottle, which could work. So for this thing, what I'm kind of planning to do is we have, like, let's pretend this is a segment of that plane. And we have our ellipse in the center of it, right? And then we're going to have this arbitrary line. We have two arbitrary lines. The bottom one needs to be on this plane, but the other one needs to be on the back plane. So, am I going to do this to indicate that it still goes up? I say we inset a smaller, which is going to be, this is a bit excessive. Yeah, I'm not sure if I actually want to do this. Because, my idea, we'll at least get it on paper. We'd have something like this, or even like this, I guess. Right? Like, that's probably our best way of going about it. Because what we're going to have, what we know we have is going to be these lines connected between the planes. So that means, if we're going to take an interior slice of this one, which would be very small and an arbitrary depth. Oh, no, it would be all the way out here. So it would be like this. And it would have two lines that go down like right here. We already have those lines that go back, so we would have at least one point here and here. And then we would just define the arbitrary height over here. And then we'd have that from one, so it would connect like this. Okay. What would we need? We would need this line, this line on the top. No, we wouldn't. Yes, we would. Then how do we make these slices? We would need, I guess this up here, this right here. I think that'd make our life easiest. Just this depends on me doing this all on the bottom plane as well. But with the purpose of the slices isn't to make it so you don't have to do it on a specific plane. It's just to clean up the planes, right? So you don't have like all the measurements on one plane. Because on this first plane, on the front plane of the box, we only have one. There are 3 lines total. In this plane, we only need 1 line, which won't even be defined necessarily because it's just going to be from the points on this one. So that doesn't even count, does it? Because it uses these. So same thing here technically, right? We can just connect the 2 sides of it. Bleh. I think we should still do it though, because that's putting a lot of hope that these 2 are so well constructed that the line actually ends up being correct in the middle. And that would require us doing this on this plane, which we can't. So these are actually important. But if we have these slices, then that means the back plane will need those lines. Not necessarily, because their front plane will have that line and this line. Oh, well, we have to still do the back plane for a lot of this stuff. So. This is brain hurty. I will say, like, the definition of a slice right now is anything that we have to do an ortho for, right? So, like, this slice, or this bounding box, it's not yet a slice. We don't know that. Do we have to do an ortho inside of it? Yes, so it's a slice. Otherwise, no, it's just 2 points that you connect on both planes. But now we have a bit of like a chicken and the egg situation, so mind-boggling. Ooh. How's it going, Dio? I'm doing okay. I'm alive. Today was a good day, a calm day. Yeah, we're still working on the freaking tape dispenser right now. Struggling through it, trying to talk through how things work and why, as one does. And it's difficult. So, my chicken and the egg situation is we're already going to have to be drawing on this plane to get this curve back here. Not necessarily any of the stuff back here. It is transparent, so we should... oh, it is transparent. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I'm not going to draw for transparency because I feel like that would undermine a lot of the construction. Maybe. It would make it look really weird. So no drawing for transparency. So the only thing we don't need to draw once it gets back here that much, the curve back here, for example, but we definitely need to draw the circle this top part, basically to here. Because this obscures a lot of it, this whole segment. Which means we will have this line right here for that will be drawn. And this. So yeah, this line will exist. Which means we will have this no matter what, and this no matter what. So there's not really a use in creating a slice here. So that's true. We don't need that line. We do need an ortho for this red line right here. All that. Yeah. And basically using all the stuff I wish I considered from the stapler and putting it into this. I'm gonna start writing down my thoughts because I keep like revisiting them in my head and it's kind of useless. Where did I put my... Okay, there it is. You can go over here. Back pane only needs these, which is the curve on the top. Those points. Oh, and the circle inside. Which means these lines on top. I mean, practically none of them need to be drawn. I only put them there for the slices. They should be drawn on the top, actually. Because we need it for this point. That makes sense. Basically, any line that we need to drop down, that's inside of the box. That's why we need to draw these top lines. So does this one need to be dropped down inside? Yes. Does this one? Yes. Does this one? Yes. That's why we have it on the top. So then we do it on the bottom as well. That gets us that full line. Here, we don't because there's no line that needs to be dropped down on the inside. So a kind of note that we can use generally speaking, and I'll write this in my black actually, is slice only need to happen So currently we're going to draw this on the top and the bottom. And that will get us all the lines we need to drop. What's up, Bear? How's it going? You did not miss anything. No, I mean, you missed an hour of me ranting about how tape measures work. How I think tape measures work. Man, daylight savings time is coming closer. It's still sunny outside, dude. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. So freaking hot. I biked to pick up some food, and I enjoyed the wind. It's finally warmer. I don't care what you say. It is hot. It's true, and I respect that, but I'm liking it. Just the wind, and it finally feels warm, and like my outfit of exercise shorts and a t-shirt finally makes sense. At 7 p.m. It is 6 p.m. for me. So that makes sense. I think daytime should be maximized. I hate leaving in the morning for work when the sun is up, and I hate when the sun is not up. I vehemently believe that no human should be outside their doors if the sun is not outside. And I agree that you should be gone from work, ideally, before the sun is up. Or before the sun is down, right? You should go to work while the sun is up and come out of work while the sun is up. And only then is it allowed to go down. Because that feeling of either going to work before the sun is up or coming back before it's down, or after it's down, or both, is a horrible feeling. It's like I'm in hell. We need outdoor workspaces without bugs, yes. I'll do all of that without bugs, unless they're cool bugs and that like help with programming. Outdoor cubicles. Why even have cubicles? Just give us a bunch of desks. And give me my noise canceling headphones, unless like one of my coworkers is annoying me with pest repellent, or just like, you know, nuke all bugs that I find somewhat inconvenient. The leaf-footed bugs, we talked about this last stream. Leaf-footed bugs can stay. To the dismay of Dio, bumblebees can stay. Cicadas, you're out. Mosquitoes, you're out. Like 80% of spiders, they're allowed to stay. Ladybugs, roly-polies, butterflies, cool. Wasps and hornets, you're out. Except for the ones that can't sting, because there are some wasps that don't, like they're not that bad. They are by definition wasps, but they aren't like aggressive. They're kind of like bees. They're more tempered. Basically any bug that's hostile. What about honeybees? Oh, of course. Of course, honeybees get to stay. They are epic awesome. The world would be a sad, sorrowful place without those guys. Why do we need these lines right here? We don't need these lines. Get rid of them. Die. Get out of here. So we only really need that. And since we're connecting lines, I mean, we don't really need this one, do we? We'll keep it, because like, well, if these are incorrect, then we're just lying. Herm. I don't know why. It appeared on my YouTube feed the other day, and I don't know what reminded me of this, but it's a video called Mom Found the Yowie, and it's this like alt girl going like, guys, my mom found the Yowie. She's like ranting about how she's embarrassed about it. It's been stuck in my head. I don't know why. It's funny. I feel like your parents inevitably finding out your special interest. Okay, Yowie's, it's weird calling Yowie a special interest. But, you know, I feel like it's part of the human experience. I don't know why, but in me reciting that video, it reminded me of the, stop swearing. Playing Overwatch and chilling to music. I'm doing okay. Like I said, today was a calm, good day. I may need to figure out dinner. We'll see. I've been eating a lot though. I'm not totally hungry, but I know I should eat. Honeybees didn't exist. I couldn't live. Yeah, they're... Well, in our hypothetical, I'm assuming all the bugs that I immolate will, just like, it won't affect the ecology of the world. How in-depth people have done with Yowie. What do you mean, like, in-depth? Like, what does the word in-depth mean in this context? Ducky, I don't even know how to pronounce that. I think those are the pillows, right? Is that what the body pillow thing is? I only know them as body pillows. I've heard of that word before. Is there a difference? Okay. Novels of fanfics. Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. I remember there's that clip of Markiplier and maybe Jacksepticeye talking about like they know about the fan fiction of like their partners getting in some kind of accident to being where like they're no longer in their lives, and so Jacksepticeye and Markiplier get together, like those fanfics. That's absurd to me. These are real people with like their partners, dude. Dude. Holy crap. That's not cool, man. I don't think I need to say that, but have any of you guys been reading books lately? I've been revisiting. They're all lame. I've been revisiting the 365 Tao. It's a book on Taoism. It's like daily meditations. Because I'm trying to find some stuff, and then I've been going through Dungeon Meshi. It's not really a book; it's manga. I was reading through Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy a bit ago, but I've not touched it in a couple months. Great book. I love it so far. I'm only a little bit in, but I have the whole box set, and I want to get through it at some point. Hitchhikers is amazing. I love the humor. In terms of yaoi that I've been reading now. I need to focus up. Okay. It feels counterintuitive to not include this one and include this one, or vice versa. But at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to include it. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be bold and not include it. And I'm going to make that mistake because these are derived anyways. So, like, why would we waste our time? Mistborn. Why does this sound? That sounds familiar. These need to be defined because they're on slice 1. Yes. Skippity boom boom. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We assume. I have too many pins. Yeah, we assume the X points are the intersection of the, I'm just going to draw it because I don't know what to call it. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Yeah, I think that works. Getting good at writing stories starts with reading books you like. That makes sense. Guess I'll forever be bad at writing stories. No. Just the Zapata video I was watching before stream was talking about, you know, the artists that fall flat who have all these grand ideas and love getting the accolade and the attention that comes with claiming you have a good idea and like making small bits and parts of it, but never actually follow through because they don't want to learn writing or paneling or advertising or things like that, and so they end up never accomplishing the things that they want to because they don't invest in skills like that. Zapata's just like me for real. No, I wish I was like Zapata. I wish I was as cool and epic and smart and as reflective as he is. Very witty fella. Okay, I think this is enough to where we can basically start the orthos tomorrow. Which I know, Kavel, you've spent 4 streams yapping. I don't care. Blow me. Okay, my bad. That's not okay. Bad energy. Bad energy. We don't need to act like that. See, Zapata's witty. I just say shit like that. Okay. For all, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna call it there. We're gonna start orthos tomorrow. I think this is all the stuff we need to be successful. Yeah. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Bear and Cal, Dio, and Jims. Because everybody. We're gonna have a normal stream schedule. We may take off earlier next week. I'm not sure how I feel yet. but things are looking stable. So once again, thank you all for joining me tonight, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now. Oh, I sounded like such a YouTuber right there. Bye.